That's how we rock it. Getting ready to go live. I'm just setting up everything up just so we can make it happen. By the way, I have the wrong messaging on the whole thing. This is not NYC Talent Show, everybody. Here we go. There we go. Okay. This is a totally different thing besides NYC Talent Show. Let me put the banner up. Correct. Boom. There we go. And then this is the dual purpose countdown. This is so people can like hang out and be part of the show, but it's also so that I can get stuff done that I should have done earlier before I went online live. I actually like it. It's becoming a ritual, which is a good thing. So like, I can gather any information that I needed. I can just sort of chit-chat with people. By the way, if you put anything in the comments, I should be able to see it live and respond live. So if you're wondering what you're watching, you are watching I Will Answer Questions of Any Kind, episode 34. It's going to start in just about 3 minutes and 11 seconds. Today's question is, what was it like directing a game show? Yeah, I'm going to be answering that question as opposed and some other random stuff before I get offline. The song's pretty dope. The song actually comes from the YouTube No Attribution library, so it's pretty dope, even though it comes from a library of music that is paid for that you can use in any of your productions. If you didn't know that exists, surprise, it exists. You can use it in any of your productions. What is the song we're listening to called? Okay, so yeah, I'm going to start this show in 2 minutes. The show, by the way, this is just for people. If there's only people here who already know what's going on, then I'll stop doing this, but I don't know that that's the case. So this is the show called I Will Answer Questions of Any Kind. Today's question I'm answering is, what was it like directing a game show? However, if you want to throw a question in the comments, I will also answer that question live. So either I can answer live, either my question that I have prepared, or I will answer your questions live as things are going on. We're going to be talking about directing a game show. The game show we're talking about is The Great Fantasy Debate. It is on Penguin Random House and Facebook Watch. Actually, it's Facebook Watch's show. It's on Facebook Watch, but it's the Penguin Random House show. And it was called The Great Fantasy Debate. And I directed it. And so we're going to talk about what it was like directing a game show. Oh, no. I always think it's funny that this thing turns red when it gets to 1 minute. I don't know what this is created for, but it wasn't created for this show, which is not so urgent that it needs to go red at 1 minute. I have one cat, actually 2 cats sleeping in my office right now. One cat is sleeping on my desk on a space that he demands that I keep clear so he can sleep on it. And another cat is sleeping in a chair, an office chair that nobody uses. The cats adopted it, so we just let them have it. All right, looks like this is about over. Let me just get this music faded down to something that is manageable. All right, everybody. If you don't know what you're doing, this is this thing where I'm going to answer questions of any kind at all. And now the show is about to start. Look at how good I am at doing this changeover. Now that I have I throw up this title screen, I bring the title screen down, boom, it's me. Look at that, I did it. About to do this. Shizzo! we about to do the show. Yeah, ha ha ha. Dancing to music that's free from YouTube, free YouTube music. Hey everybody, my name is Victor Bernardo. I will answer questions of any kind. It is July 22nd. I was about to say June. It's July 22nd. And now the question I'm answering today is what was it like directing a game show? I'm talking about a recent game show that came out for Facebook Watch called The Great Fantasy Debate. And the idea behind the game show, the idea behind the game show is that authors and comedians would get together and then they would debate over what are the best things in the fantasy world. Like, is it better to be part of the Empire or part of the Rebellion? Things like that. That's what they did. Anyway, so they actually just released a behind the scenes. I actually didn't have to shoot this. Somebody else shot the behind the scenes. So I'm going to show you like what the show is by showing you this quick, I think it's about a 2-minute video. I'm going to show you this quick video telling you what the behind the scenes is like. But first I got to turn up the music so that you don't have to hear that music and we can just watch this video together. I'll be on the side watching this video with you. Like, here we go. Like this. This is where I'm going to be, right there. Look at this. Let's play this video. I think you should be able to hear it just fine. Top and bottom of 5.
Today, I am here to film episodes of a show called The Great Fantasy Debate,
which is essentially an excuse for fantasy authors to get our nerd on with the help of comedians who actually make us seem funny.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's hold that out. Camera, please.
Okay, here we go, everybody. Here we go. Ready, and action.
Dragons, cute pets, or dangerous threats? We'll find out this week on The Great Fantasy Debate.
Happy press bill.
When you say you're in favor of diversity, when you're so against clones. Clones are people too.
Things are going great today. It's like fun. We're shooting episodes back to back. I think one of my favorite things about the show is that we have all the cast and crew. They can laugh like while we're doing takes, so it feels like more alive, and we're just having more fun.
It's been a while since I engaged in actual competitive debate. So, the gears are a little rusty, but, I gave him the old 1-2.
Sit between Sansa and Bran, and between Oberyn and Ilaria, who might poison you.
And tell me.
We're arguing about which Westerosi house to marry into. And so I think the Martells are a good choice. I mean, really, are you going to marry into the Starks? Just hang out with the world's most violent weathermen?
People should not be allowed to own dragons. I'm shocked that we're still having this conversation.
4 movies telling us how to train these things, and we still don't know how.
This is a subject that is near and dear to my heart as a fantasy author, and it was super fun.
Yes, you can watch all the episodes of The Great Fantasy Debate on the Penguin Random House Facebook page, everybody. You can totally make that happen. I gotta stop this before it tries to play something else. Okay, let's shut that right down. Anyway, so that's basically what the show was. It's on Facebook Watch. Now, the question today was, what was it like to direct a game show? I got to tell you, it was pretty crazy for a couple of reasons. Here's the main one. I had never directed a game show before, and nobody was showing me how. So I just basically kind of had to figure it out. And directing a game show, I have a way, I think, of working where, like, I'll reverse engineer things. Like, for instance, when I directed the Awkward Comedy Show, I had never directed a stand-up comedy special before. And with that one, I just basically watched as many stand-up comedy specials as I could. And then I determined like what I needed to make my show work, like what kind of cameras I needed. I like researched, and then funded this stand-up comedy special / documentary. And then it got on Comedy Central because it worked out. The research I did worked out. So for the Great Fantasy Debate, I had never done a game show before. And so I just watched a bunch of game shows. Luckily, they're actually doing a format which a lot of the other people have already done. And I just wanted to see what they've done and then try to do something that's better. So the format is two teams that were debating against each other based on like silly topics. And it was like a fun debate. And so what I did was I watched other shows where they had done that, where they like debated on fun things. And then I just broke that down. Like, how many cameras were they using? And what are the sets made of? Like, I looked to see how cheap some stuff was, so that I could still put it on camera and get away with it. What's your take on owning dragons? I think owning dragons is, well, here's the thing. If dragons are as intelligent as humans or more intelligent, because that's what it says in most of the lore, then how are you even owning them? I mean, they can be your friend, I guess, but they can't, like, you can't really own a dragon. Like, owning a dragon is slavery. And here's the funny thing. On the episode where they talk about owning dragons, that's not ever brought up. Like, if dragons are intelligent creatures, you can't just have slaves, which I think is so funny. That definitely should have been part of the debate. Okay, so I kind of reverse engineered the show. And then once I had reverse engineered the show, oh, ladies and gentlemen, someone is coming by to say hello. It looks like it's Miles. There he is. Hi, Miles. How are you? You want to interrupt the show? Okay, buddy. Okay. You want to sit on my lap? All right. Okay. So, anyway, my wife is off screen taking a picture of me and Miles together. Miles went back to sleep on the desk. All right. So after reverse engineering what a game show was, then I headed out to design the sets, because we didn't have enough money to pay everybody. Facebook has a couple of tiers of shows. All right. Now the tiers that have like the biggest stars, like Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table. Okay. They've got a certain kind of budget. And then the kind where they're like, we're kind of experimenting, seeing if doing a TV show with a publishing house works. Their budget is not the same. So we had one of the not the same budgets. So what I did was I had to do things for that show that normally I wouldn't do with a production, because I wanted to make sure that I put as much money up on the screen as possible. So I would cut corners on the creative leads sometimes, because here's the thing. You shouldn't cut corners on creative leads money-wise, but because I had previously done a lot of these creative lead positions for other projects, I was able to do them. I did them to a level of professional. So I wasn't like not doing something with a professional. It is not a good idea to do multiple roles like that on bigger projects, but it just turned out to be the way it was, just because our budget was as such, and I had to make a decision. Anyway, so I designed the sets. I helped build the sets, and then we shot it with the right number of cameras. We had like 5 cameras, and we had a studio, and it looked gorgeous. I mean, it really did. If you search for the Great Fantasy Debate trailer online, you can see that it looked beautiful. It was like a really good game show. It was hell the first day. The first day was very, very hard, not because of the people, but because we didn't have enough money to build out the entire crew and do a full rehearsal tech day. So because we couldn't do a full rehearsal tech day, our first half of our first day was basically our rehearsal tech day. We had 2 days to shoot. So we just went through it and shot it as best we could at first, and we learned as we went on. As we moved forward, the days got faster and faster, and shooting each episode got faster and faster. But where we started, straight up, was Crazy Town. Like, if we had remained in Crazy Town, we wouldn't have finished the show. We did finish the show because we didn't remain in Crazy Town. The last day of the shoot was so much fun, and it ended with everyone hugging each other and being like, that was absolutely great. We had such a good time. It was a wonderful experience. Anyway, so Great Fantasy Debate. If you feel like it, check it out. It's really fun to have something. I think actually that is one of the first few things that I've done where they hired somebody to shoot a behind the scenes. Because usually I am working on projects that are either so big that I'm not in the behind the scenes, like when I was working on Love and Hip Hop, okay? The Love and Hip Hop franchise shows. Like, they shoot behind the scenes for Love and Hip Hop, but I was a story and post producer. So because I was a story and post producer, like that, like the production is so big, the story post producers don't really show up in the behind the scenes. Anyway, so I was actually in the behind the scenes because I was actually the director of the project. So it was first for that, which was really fun. It was a big enough project that they had a budget for the behind the scenes, but a small enough project so that I could be in the behind the scenes. Nice. Felt pretty good. I think I'm just going to tell you a couple of things that I think are fun before I get out of here. So if you do have any questions, please put them in the comments and I'll answer all your questions. But I thought it would be funny to talk about residuals. Okay, so as you know, well, some of you don't. I used to do a lot more acting. Like, I've been in movies with some big names. Like, I was in a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I was in a movie with Eddie Murphy. But so, and then I really stopped acting. I was doing mostly, I just scratched myself on the shoulder, and I can see it's red, and so I'm moving this so that you can't see the area I just scratched. Anyway, so I'm an idiot. Okay, so when I was doing a lot more acting, then when you're in the Screen Actors Guild, they give you residuals, and residuals can go on forever. Now, if you have a giant like hit movie or something like that, like, your residuals might be a lot every year. For instance, like if you're in a holiday movie, like a holiday movie that they play every year, like, you're always going to get a check from that. Okay, like a decent check, because like if it's something like, if it's a Christmas Story, okay, if you're in a Christmas Story, then every year you're going to get a lot because they play it everywhere every year. Now, if you're not in like a movie that's like a giant hit like that, your residuals get smaller and smaller each year. So I'm going to right now, because because I have not been like trying to do a lot of acting lately, my residual checks are getting smaller. So I usually save them up. So like after 6 or 8 months, I'll take all the residual checks that are around, and then I will deposit them. So I'm going to read you the projects and amounts based on the year that they started. You love my hat? Well, thank you very much. You love my hat? I really like that. Your name is, not appropriate for everybody. The Real Bud Cook. Well, I guess that's fine. I thought I'd said had an F in it. It was like F-U-C-K or something, but it wasn't. Okay, so here we go. So this one is from, what movie is this from? From SAG-AFTRA. This is from I Origins. It's a movie that I'm in called I Origins, which is like a low budget sci-fi movie that I'm in. I got $8. Okay. And this one is from, Another I Origins, I as in the letter I, Origins, $6.65. So right now I'm cleaning up on I Origins. And this one is from $225, okay? From The Adventures of Pluto Nash, starring Eddie Murphy, where he fights the mafia on the moon. Way to go, Eddie Murphy. Fighting the mafia on the moon. This is from End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. $23.99. Where he fought the devil, shot the devil with a rocket launcher. So way to go, shooting the devil with a rocket launcher, dude. You did it. You're the best. Around, nothing is gonna get you down. Oh, I read that one already. Hold on. There's got to be... Oh, there's a couple more. Here we go. This one is from Side Effects, a movie called Side Effects. In the movie Side Effects, I play kind of like a super woke... hey, Leslie. Leslie, are you here? My wife has abandoned me. In the movie Side Effects, let me see. I'm glad you got your money from Pluto Nash, but that movie was terrible. Was it? What? It's not my fault. I didn't write it, direct it, or star in it. I was just in it. Anyway. The movie Side Effects. I don't even know how to describe that movie. I needed Leslie to help me describe it. She's not available. All right. This one is, for 35 cents, also from the movie Side Effects. You know, I say what you want about Side Effects, but they gave me 35 cents. Yeah, that's 35 cents more than you got from Side Effects. Quiet. All right. And then $71.29. Woo. Again, from the movie End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now, if you have any questions, now would be a good time to ask because I'm about to wrap up. I actually don't do these streams for very long. They're usually between 10 to 30 minutes, I would say at the very most. I want to say thanks to people who did have comments. People like Moodit, of course, and the real Bud Cook. What? How do they figure out residuals? Well, I hate to disappoint you, but I do not know. I know that there are several firms which it is their job to just track where everything's done and where everything's played and who was in it and all of that. But I know that there's people whose job it is to do that. How they do it, I do not know. Do I look like I would know? Come on, man. How would I know? I have a question for you. How do space rockets work? You know what? That was uncalled for. All right. Thank you very much for stopping by, everybody. I'll see you later. Remember, I will answer questions of any kind. Just follow me on any social media. Ask me any question. I'll make a whole episode about it. Combustion. No, that's very one small part. Oh yeah, how do they figure out residuals? Math. Does that help? Exactly. All right, I'm getting out of here. I'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out.